Now it's time for Hot for Your House, sponsored by John's Waterproofing.
All right, guys, today we're gonna build a minimalist coat rack. And for me, I like to put them behind doorways, things like that, where they're kind of out of the way, but it's a good use of storage space. So we're gonna build these things today out of plumbing parts, just stuff I got from the normal hardware store. So I went and got a bunch of black iron fittings because I think they paint up better than the galvanized. The first thing we're gonna do is grab a wipe here and just clean these things up. They are always just absolutely covered in machining oil, and that's okay. Just get these cleaned up real quick. We don't want that on the clothes as well. If we are hanging a jacket or something up there, the last thing we need is oil. And if you go paint it later, you're gonna want this cleaned up anyway. So we're just gonna get all that stuff off of there real quick. It's almost a paint prep anyway. And you won't get all of your clothes that way as well. And so depending on, you can make this as big as you want. And that's the cool thing with this, is that if you want something 3 feet long, you can make it 3 feet. If you want it 12 inches, you can make it 12 inches. So today we're just gonna make one that's basically for a couple jackets. I don't like using PVC for this kind of thing because if you pull on it wrong, you could break it. And that just doesn't seem to make a lot of sense. All right, the first thing we're gonna start with is a floor flange here. And what I like these for, and why I like using the black iron, is I can put 4 screws into a wall. So that's a great base plate to start with. So because we're just gonna go out behind a doorway, I don't want this too big because by the time we get out there, I don't want this hitting a door. So we wanna make sure it's not as deep as the door handle itself. So I'm gonna put this in here. I'm gonna get everything finger tight first. So next we're gonna do is we're gonna put a T on here. Get that on here, get that tightened up. All right, next we're gonna take these 4-inch pipe nipples here and come out. And what's cool with this is if you want this a little bit bigger for heavier jackets, you can make it a lot bigger as well. And so what we're gonna do is put this on either side, and you can start to see we're kind of getting some shape here to it. And now we're gonna get into these elbows, and I'll show you what we're gonna do here. This is kind of cool because we're gonna give this basically a nub on the top to be able to hold that pipe fitting where you can hang a jacket on it. So we'll do that on either side. Get these in here. We'll tighten it up when we're all said and done here. I don't want to get this too marred up by using tools on it yet because, well, if we're going to finish this, we want it to look right. So you could get away with this right here, but what I'm going to do is put a couple pipe nipples on either side here. Get that threaded in there. There we go. And then we're going to put a couple plumbing caps right here on it. Thread it on there. There we go. That wiped off. Now I'm going to put my pliers on to get this thing kind of tightened up a little bit. And again, I just want to make sure I don't mar this finish up too badly. It is kind of a minimalist feature, but I tell you what, no sense having big markings on it. Got it on the pipe nipple there, and these big iron caps like this, it's not as big a deal to get these tightened up. And you're not going to put markings on them too badly either. All right, there we go. That is how you build a minimalist coat rack. You could build it any size you want. Now at this point, you can paint it or just put a clear coat on it so it doesn't rust.